Hello guys, today what we're going to do is pay homage to a civil rights activist who was a Miami native. Edwin T. Pratt was born December the 6th, 1930. He lived in Coconut Grove and he attended George Washington Carver High School. Mr. Pratt was amazing in his academics. He was also amazing in his community as a youngster. As a matter of fact, while he was at George Washington Carver High School, he joined the YMCA, which is short for the Young Men's Christian Association. Like many civil rights activists, Edwin Pratt had many mentors. One mentor I would like to highlight in this video is Mr. Manatee Bannerman. At one point, Mr. Bannerman was the executive director of the Carver branch of the YMCA. This is when he mentored Mr. Edwin Pratt and many others. Edwin T. Pratt graduated from George Washington Carver in 1947 with honors. Following high school, Mr. Pratt attended Clark College and received his undergraduate degree. He pursued his master's degree from Atlanta University in social work. Pratt's time as a student was significant, of course, particularly at Atlanta University. That is where he met the love of his life, Miss Betty Williams. Oh, and by the way, they both majored in social work. Another important factor that makes Mr. Pratt's time at the university so important is the fact that Dr. Whitney Young was the dean of the School of Social Work. He would eventually become the National Executive Director of the Urban League, pushing it to actively fight for our civil rights. Before that, however, Dr. Young influenced Mr. Pratt to put his social work degree to use by joining the Kansas City, Missouri branch of the National Urban League. In his early career with the Urban League, particularly the chapters, the Kansas City, Missouri chapter and the Cleveland, Ohio chapter, Pratt used this opportunity to learn the ropes of civil rights, how to be a good activist, and how to lead. A lot was going on with civil rights in our country at this particular time. So much. And I did a video on the integration of the Atlanta transit system, and I explained, as we all know, just because a court case ruled that something was illegal, like for example, the Brown versus the Board of Education, that, schools have to integrate, it didn't mean that it was that easy to just go ahead and integrate schools. Individual communities, blacks in the individual communities, had to come up with different ways, creative ways to enforce the change. The NAACP, CORE, the National Urban League, as I mentioned before, black churches, and many other organizations served as the backbone for black people and the black community to help us fight for our civil rights at that time and as they still continuously do today. Under Mr. Pratt's leadership, the Seattle Metropolitan Urban League developed a triad plan which opened the door and started the conversation to help desegregate the Seattle public school system. So the triad plan, how did it work? Pretty much the whole idea of the plan was to rezone and merge students together, that way there would be mixed races in schools together. Just like the triad plan provided the keys to open the opportunities provided by Brown versus the Board of Education, another thing we can look at is Operation Equality, which is also something that Mr. Pratt helped to spearhead, and Operation Equality was actually a key to help open opportunities provided by the signing of the Civil Rights Act of 1968. Unfortunately, the Civil Rights Act of 1968, which was signed by President Lyndon B. Johnson, unfortunately, the Civil Rights Act of 1968 did not provide a strategy to help its causes. And one of the causes being equal housing, which was the purpose of Operation Equality in Seattle. So how did Operation Equality work? Operation Equality gave people the awareness, particularly low-income households and African Americans. It gave them the awareness of the opportunities for better housing. And Operation Equality not only gave them the awareness, but it helped them to apply for better housing opportunities and more. Sadly to say, on a cold winter evening on January the 26th, 1969, right around the time Pratt was working on a plan to help to integrate the workforce, he was assassinated at his front door. Edwin Pratt's legacy is honored in many beautiful ways. A few I would like to mention: there's a park named after him, there's a fine arts center named after him, an Edwin T. Pratt Fine Arts Center, and there is even a forever stamp that commemorates his legacy. I'll put more information about that at the end of this video. To me, the biggest legacies that Mr. Pratt left were the integration of the Seattle public school system, the integration of the Seattle workforce, and equal housing in Seattle. But importantly, the legacy that he left is the one that teaches us to just never to give up and to keep pushing and to keep doing the next right thing. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and thanks for letting me share. And also, I will post all the sources at the end of this video.